Bonjour, today is Friday, July 5th, 2024. It is 8:38 in the morning. I'm all packed up and ready to go. I started editing the video for my first 2 days. I really need to cut down the editing, less, I'm still including things that I would include on a weekend trip because I can afford to, time-wise. I just can't afford to show all of that stuff when I need to use the screen time for the spectacular views. Yeah, good for me to keep in mind here early in the trip, day 3. So there were 2 other tents here behind the auberge. I didn't even know that there was going to be an auberge here. The sign said, 5 hours and whatever, 6 hours to this col. And so I was like, I'll go there and I'll camp. But there was an auberge, so I was able to have some wine last night, buy some postcards, write some postcards, and I camped behind. The white tent was Roman again, and the other tent was another gentleman. Anyway, they are both gone. I would like to get to the end of so I have 6 kilometers left of stage 3, and it is 25 kilometers for stage 4. So that would be a 31-kilometer day, a long day, and my legs are sore. My legs are sore. My heel spur has been hurting me from day 1. I've been compensating, like walking on the ball of my foot a lot. Yeah, I don't know, maybe one day I'll have to have surgery. Like, that's not a new thing. That began many years ago, but it began, I started wearing a heel pad, and then it didn't bother me for like 5 years, and then it was only this past year, like after I got back from the GR10 and I started running on the treadmill. As soon as I started running on the treadmill, it came back. Not on the GR10, on the treadmill in September, and it's basically been, sore the whole year. So it's still sore, and it's, gets more sore as the day progresses. So whatever. It's not something like, I'll just deal with it. I'm not even wearing a heel pad, and haven't taken any pain relief for it. So it's, manageable. Anyway, I think I can do the 31 kilometers today because it's only like 600 and something meters of ascent today. Like, it's a much easier day than I've seen the first 2 days. The first 2 days, they were pretty brutal. I loved it, but yeah, they were definitely very challenging. So yeah. And Roman this morning, he said, have you seen the forecast? And I said, well, someone told me that, there's supposed to be rain, tomorrow. And he goes, yeah, rain tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the whole week and the whole week after. We'll see. I've never, ever seen 2 weeks of rain straight in my life, but it is the mountains, and there's a first time for everything. So it's going to be what it's going to be. I'm not discouraged. Yeah, it's going to be what it's going to be. So, yeah. So, blah, blah, blah. That's about it. This is day 3 on the spectacular GR5. Barrière canadienne. I would just like to say that I am so happy, so deeply happy. This is amazing. Bonjour. 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 Ça va? Ça va? I think he shook his head no. Bonjour. Oh là. Oh là 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 là. Ok, au revoir. Bonjour. Bonjour. Comment je peux passer? Bonjour. Ouh. Ça va? Ça va? Excusez-moi. Excusez-moi. is 3:15. I just wanted to make note of the fact that, the GR5 is not very well signed on the Swiss side. It's very well signed on the French side. So I'm glad to be back on the French side. All right, still lots to do. Let's keep going. Oh, they got that worm. Are they fighting over it? I think they're fighting over it. Oh, haha, we have a winner. Oh no, he's not giving up. This is exciting. Maybe they're just carrying it teamwork? I don't know. We will never know. Yeah, I think it's a teamwork thing. Good. Good for you guys. Looks like it's working. 3 cheers for teamwork. All right, it is 10:30 p.m. I did accomplish the 31 kilometers, so I finished the last 6 kilometers of stage 3 and all 25 kilometers of stage 4. I got here to the end of stage 4 to the town of Samoëns. All of the jeets were closed. The one jeet where I saw people inside, they were like, sorry, it's a private function. So anyway, I was looking for somewhere to just pitch my tent. Like I'd found this little piece of like grass and gravel behind some building. Anyway, I had passed this building where there's a big sign out front that says like 2 big apartments for rent. There was a girl standing out there with her bike. I was like, excuse me, do you mind if I pitch my tent in your backyard? Like I figured if it was a rental space that maybe that would like not be a big deal. And she was like, well, I just rent here. Like, let me go ask the owner. Anyway, the owner, this lady, this lovely lady named Sylvie, came out and she was like, yeah, you can totally, pitch your tent in my backyard, but it's all gravel. And I was like, that's fine. I can totally make it work. And then she was like, do you know what would be more simple? Come and stay in my spare bedroom. And so here I am in her spare bedroom. Like we chatted all night. She was like feeding me radishes and cucumber and goat's cheese. And I had a shower, and she's a hiker. She's done the GR5. She's doing another 10-day hike in England in September, etc., etc. So she totally, like I couldn't have stumbled upon a better, situation. So I am so thankful and grateful to Sylvie. Yeah, tomorrow it's supposed to rain starting at noon. So I have to look at the guidebook tonight and figure out it's not just supposed to rain, it's supposed to be like storms. So I really have to plan my day properly tomorrow. So yeah. So that's the end of day 3 on the GR. Oh, have I been saying GR10? I hope not. It's the end of day 3 on the GR5. See you in the morning.
And the only thing to fear on those enchanted summer nights was that the magic would end and real life would come crashing in.